Is there any particular story that sticks out for you where you think, wow, like just where this service has been like so imperative, or something you can tell us about your work basically, and something that's stuck with you?
Uh, yeah, there were loads of cases, but off my head, I can only remember quite recently there was this lady where she was having some issues due to language barriers, um, which is I mean her issues were circling around her visa and
Mm,
her residency status in the UK,
mm,
and so she obviously didn't know what to do, and she was trying to get in touch with as many organizations as she can
yeah.
to address the issue, because she was risking of having no place to stay due to her restrictions in her visa. And luckily she came across someone, and they managed to give her the helpline number, and they advised that it was a free number. You can ask for any language support. So yeah, when she called, obviously I was on the helpline front, I could say, and
Yeah.
I managed to pick up the call. And after discussing her issues, the lady was speaking Arabic, but she was Egyptian.
Okay.
Um, so I had to get an Egyptian dialect interpreter or language support. So there are some cases when we just handle the call directly, but in her situation, it was really crucial to try to get the accurate kind of information from her, because it was a really delicate case and scenario.
Yes,
So
you've got,
yeah,
you can like find someone else that will speak that
well,
specific
has
dialect.
exactly.
Yeah.
So when it gets when you kind of like realize it's a really delicate or really touchy subject or something that you'd want to be 100% sure and accurate, then
Yes.
we'd
Yeah.
have to make that decision.
Mm.
So yeah, after discussing her circumstances, um, we managed to sort of get an understanding of what kind of options we can be able to offer her on, and giving her more information on which routes to take to get her problem solved, or even get the proper kind of support to solve her issues. So
Mm.
there are some stuff that I can't be talking about here, but
Obviously, yeah.
yeah, so it was quite evident that after discussing within the team, our team, and within the other teams within East,
Yeah.
we've managed to sort of give her the next step to solve her residency requirements, and obviously she was also facing some employment issues. So Dawn was talking about our issues, and I mean the services that we provide. Um, and from those services, we also provide some employment information services. So we've managed to refer her to a local organization that had vacancies open, and she did mention that she had some professional experience in that field, and we've managed to make that refer her to that organization to apply for job, and maybe she can be very suited for the position, depending on her, based on her experience and skills.
Mm, that's
And
fantastic.
yeah, and the feedback from that call was really good, because we've managed to like see how the client responded to it. She was quite hopeful. She was really anxious. You could sort of tell how the whole situation sort of flipped after we've given her the baby steps towards the solution of her problems. And
Mm.
yeah, it was quite inspiring to see those types of calls, and then
The outcome.
get to see the outcome. That's the you know that's the best feeling, to be honest, and it kind of motivates every single one of us in this team to
Yeah, how
uh
important your work is, and
yeah,
imperative it is, really, especially in these times, and
yeah,
especially um, in the hostile environment that we've been bombarded by, I feel. And Dina's saying she'd like to share a call as well. That would be fantastic if you can.
Yes. I had this call a few months ago, but it stuck with me, so I think I'll share it with everyone. It was a call from an assistant head teacher from a school in South Wales, and he was talking about a student that he was very concerned about. And the student was a boy in high school. So the head teacher was saying that the boy was really struggling to make friends at school, and he had other problems. But the reason why he called was he said there were a couple of incidents with the boy in school where the boy had been in quite a big trouble, I think. But the reason why he called us was the day he was in trouble taking photos of people without their consent.
Okay.
And also he was looking for guns online.
Oh,
Which was obviously quite a concern for the school.
yes.
And for his well-being as well. So when he called, and I think he mentioned also that there were safeguarding issues previously in their own country. His dad used to beat him, but since they were here in the UK, it had stopped. So the teacher basically wanted to know if our organization can help him in any way.
Yeah.
So the boy was referred to one of our teams within East, and I think they got in touch with him and the school, and they're supporting him now.
Oh,
And
that's brilliant.
Yeah, and one thing with our helpline is whoever we help and refer, we don't actually get to know what the outcome of the result, so how they're doing and everything. But in this case, I've recently found out that he's been helped by a team in East, and he's also doing really well now in school, and he's actually using our services, and he's coming into the drop-in center in our
brilliant
organization. So yeah, that was a really nice case, I think, because and especially I got to know what he's doing right now. He's coming in and doing well, even doing well in school apparently.
That's really, really brilliant to hear. Fantastic. I like to. We want to hear some good news, and obviously the work that East does is incredible. And if people don't have those support services, and they don't have that help, you don't know what's going to happen. Like, the fact that you can give that support and you can make those referrals into different areas. It is really changing people's life for the better, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Because it could have been like sometimes there's like misunderstandings, and I think sometimes people jump to wrong conclusions.
Right.
So commend the headmaster for ringing the helpline as well, because I mean, thank goodness that they knew about it, and that they could call, and that there could be a support plan put in place, or that referral put in place. So I think that's lovely to hear that, how brilliantly it's working and how busy you guys are. So how many calls do you have? Like, Dawn, you've got your hand up. Did you want to say something?
I just wanted to say that, in this case that Dina was mentioning, and we discuss it with our colleagues sometimes, how do you address such an issue for those who do the casework?
Yeah.
And sometimes it comes from the fact that that child or young person didn't have the appropriate mentor at the appropriate stage in life to guide him or her through all the turbulences they might have been, emotionally and physically. And as a reaction or a response to all those experiences, the child is, or the young person is behaving in a certain way. The good part is they are still in their formative stages of life, and things can be done with them. And in East, we have seen so many cases of lives being turned around in a positive way. And Don't we all hear all the stories of fantastic feedbacks saying, I was with these 10 years ago and thank you for being there. Thank you for holding my hand.
Yeah.
And in those really delicate situations. So this is what East is about. And I think as a helpline, we feel really lucky that we are there should somebody from a remote corner of Wales be able to pick up the phone and connect with us
Yeah.
without having to worry, because it's a free phone number, nobody has to worry about the telephone bill. So they can talk to us at length, and then we then can talk to our colleagues, and together as a team, we take the case forward.
Yeah.
That's the beauty, that it's not a one-off call and we say, okay, you can consult this, this, and this. Here are the phone numbers, and thank you. We don't do that. We make sure, depending on the case, that our referral or signposting is appropriate and the client will be supported. Till we
Yes.
have that kind of a guarantee, we don't put the phone down or we don't close the case at our end.
Wow, that's fantastic to hear, because you know, sometimes you just ring numbers and they're like, they just, you get passed from pillar to post. You know, I know that from when I've been trying to help people that I, you know, you're like, okay, like, let me just research this and then let's just find the right people, blah, blah. And yeah, sometimes, you know, when you ring yourself, like if you need support, you just get passed to pillar to post. So that's so good to hear, because you've got the whole organization behind the helpline as well. And also, to turn something around like that, because I feel like people can be really judgmental and they don't take the time to find out what's really going on, or to find out the history, or to find out, you know, the traumas that individuals have been through and what their real life experience is. So, you know, it's easy for people to just look at people and go, oh my God, this is happening, and be judgmental, and you really, like, you need to talk to people, and I guess that's what the helpline does so well, is that you can have that conversation. You can try and go, okay, let's just see what's going on here and go a bit deeper into like the causes, or why people are like that people, like what's going on, you know, and uncovering it, which I think is really imperative, especially at the moment when we're living through such a time where there's so much prejudice as well. There seems to be, like, coming from the top, not so much the bottom, I don't think, like but like top down. Like this weekend I was at the protest, you know, resist racism, which was very important to hear, you know, some more stories from people who and their experiences. And I think this kind of sharing of information and having these conversations is so important.